Well, hello there, rat enthusiasts. My name is RidersDX, and welcome to another rendition of Riders Talks, where today we're going to be talking about the brand new trailer released by THQ Nordic during their showcase yesterday, where they reviewed a lot of new Epic Mickey Rebrushed footage ahead of a bunch of events that are going on this month. I think there's like something called D-Day going on with Disney that people are going to get the chance to play the game at that event. There's also going to be Gamescom where the game's going to be at, and so we're going to get a lot of information about this game in the next month or so, which makes sense because the game is actually coming out on September 24th, so it's pretty much right at the doorstep now. So very exciting stuff. But with today's video, we're gonna go through the entire trailer and pick out a bunch of different details. I have 15 different things for y'all to go through today, but I definitely did not catch everything. So if there's anything that I missed that you really think should have been in this video, then let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what I did wrong, and just berate me, set me on fire, send me to the dungeon, whatever you deem fit. But all right, let's go ahead and get through the 15 facts. I did go to you all for some help on getting some facts into this video, and so I'm going to mention some people's comments every now and then. Like this first fact over here that came from a longtime viewer, Dom. He mentioned how he liked how they kept the 2D cutscenes in there, and that's the very first thing you see of this trailer, is that you see that the original cutscene is still in this game. And so I'm going to use this video by GameXplain, which compares the new footage to the original game, and just kind of like refer to that whenever we're doing comparisons. And so with this one, you can see here that both cutscenes are exactly the same. There doesn't seem to be that much change. There is one little change though, and that's the fact that the text boxes from the original are removed, and now you just have plain text over there in the remake. And so beyond that, it looks like they're the exact same cutscenes. And so I'm still very curious as to how they're going to navigate this with the cutscenes where they talk about the Wii motion controls. I wonder if they're just going to outright not include those and just have brand new ones in their place instead. So we'll have to see what happens with that. And number two, so Speedy Springtrap over here had a lot to say, but one thing that they really mentioned is the fact that the visuals of this remake are still continuing to really impress us and such. And so Mean Street in particular over here has what I feel to be like a darker feel to it compared to the original, but there's still more diversity in colors just because of the very nature of this being a remake 10 or so years later after the game got made. And so everything looks more vibrant, but at the same time looks darker, which is definitely in contrast to Rehydrated, because with Rehydrated, everything was much brighter, everything was much more colorful. It almost sort of went against the more dull nature of the original. It feels like with this remake, Purple Lamp is actually really taking into account what the original game was supposed to look like, and considering the fact that Warren Spector is working on this, it's absolutely no surprise to me. So it looks great, everything looks absolutely amazing. Mean Street looks great, Oztown looks great. I'm really digging how this game's looking. And number three, I found this in the Discord server of THQ Nordic from this guy named Guesty, and apparently the Mean Street newspaper guy actually holds a newspaper. So I thought it was very interesting. I didn't really realize he was supposed to be like the headline guy until I was like maybe more than halfway into the game. But every time I go to talk to this guy, he'd always have some sort of like breaking news kind of like thing to tell Mickey. And now he has an actual newspaper. I just love little things like that. And number four, I actually need a little help in this case. So I saw this section over here that leads to like a train track, and I cannot recall where this is in the original game. It looks like this is still in Mean Street, which is even more confusing to me because Mean Street definitely did not have a location like this. So if anyone has any insight as to what this is and where this is from, please let me know. I even looked in like the Discord server of THQ Nordic, and a lot of people are having the same questions. No one seems to know where this is from. Is this potentially a new location that's in the game? And that's something we're going to get into a lot with the upcoming bullet points, is that there seems to be more additions and changes than we initially anticipated. So that's really exciting. But yes, please let me know. At number five, oh, my favorite creatures in this entire game, the bunny children. They come in light purple variants in this game as well. So in the original, they were just a light blue, and after I did a little research, I realized that these are actually cut variants from the original game. And so it's really cool to see that they're bringing back unused concepts from the original game and putting them into this remake. I wonder if we'll see like the black variants too. I don't see them here, so maybe not, but we'll just have to see. At number six, and so I learned a while back that there's actually a targeting mechanic in the original game, but it seems like in this remake, it's going to be a lot more obvious, because when you're using the targeting mechanic over here, there's an arrow that appears on top of the enemy, and I'm not really sure if that was a thing in the original or not. I'm pretty sure it at least looks different compared to the original, so if anyone has any insight on that, then please let me know. But yeah, the targeting mechanic over here is going to be quite useful, especially since we don't have pointer controls anymore, and so this will make targeting enemies you want to paint or thin really easy. At number 7, I'm not sure this was shown in previous footage or not, but there's also a couple looks at the dash move over here, and so this will definitely be a very useful move. I even saw it being utilized to avoid like a boss's attack later on in the footage, and so that's definitely going to be something you can use to ease the experience of the game. At number 8, so here in Oztown, Mickey is thinning this wall over here, which is something you could do in the original game, but in this one, there seems to be a door over here that definitely was not in the original. And when I looked a little closer, I noticed that there's also a wrench icon over here. So maybe it's something that Mickey can attack to unlock the door. And so this could be a location for like a brand new unlockable or something, which is very exciting. That means there's even more things being added into this game than we realized. And this is the proper way to really remake a game, in my opinion. You know, not just remake the game from top to bottom, but also adding in new things to expand on the experience and make it bigger than ever before. I'm really excited to see what Purple Lamp has cooking over here. At number 9, this came from some random guy in the internet. You know, fantastic name. The little detail of Mickey having the magic brush on his back during projector levels. And so we did get to see some more projector levels in this trailer. They look absolutely amazing. First of all, they look very cartoony, just like the original, but you know, more detailed and such. And so I honestly wouldn't mind watching an actual cartoon like this, to be honest. So Disney, if you're looking for more ideas, then check this out. But yes, you can see over here that Mickey has a brush in his pants, but compared to the original, which I'm using the game explain footage over here, you can see that in the original, Mickey is holding the brush. And so that's an interesting little detail over here. I'm assuming that Mickey will be holding the brush when he's attacking and such. And so interesting little detail. You know, this is the thing about Purple Lamp, is that even the small little details like this are really cool to see, because like no one would even think about doing stuff like this. At number 10, an interesting addition is that there are now blue e-tickets over here. And so I don't believe these were in the original one. In the original one, I do believe there were green ones and red ones and white ones and gold ones as well, but I don't recall there being blue. At least that's what other people are saying. So let me know if I'm incorrect on this, but I'm pretty sure blue e-tickets are new over here. So I wonder if they're going to be like high or low in value. Judging by the location over here, it seems a little bit hard to reach. So I'm assuming they might be a little bit high in value. So that's great. At number 11, this is a change I noticed from the initial screenshots and footage that we got of this game. And so we're going to the clock boss now. And if you recall, in the screenshot, it had a very like large red lighting color to it. But in this one, it seems to be a little bit closer to the original, albeit a little bit brighter. And so this kind of falls in line with what I've been seeing with the game as we get more and more footage, is that the lighting, the look of the game seemingly going back to being more faithful to the original game. And that's definitely due to Purple Lamp kind of learning from Rehydrated, and also War Inspector being a part of this game. It definitely seems like this game is becoming more and more true to the nature of the original. Number 12, this has to be like one of the most exciting bullet points I'm going to talk about today, but apparently there is a new attack built into this boss. And so what you can see over here in this footage is that as you get started with the boss, these large black balls start rolling towards you that Mickey's going to have to jump over. And so that was not a thing in the original at all. So that means that the bosses are getting new mechanics added to them. It's a very random addition, I have to say, but it makes you curious to see what other additions like this are going to be in the game. You know, there's a lot more to this than just being a one-to-one remake apparently, and I'm really excited to see what that means. At number 13, the trailer does remind you all that if you pre-order the game, then you can get access to certain costumes or variants that can be used in the game. So there's a Steamboat Willie outfit over here, then there's a Brave Little Tailor, and then there's Football Mickey. I'm really curious to see if there's going to be any more costumes beyond these once we get the game, but these look absolutely great, and that's something that I think really would have benefited the original game, is having some more costumes for Mickey to wear. So this looks great. Number 14, I'm not really sure what this part came from. I saw this in the THQ Nordic server, but I'm assuming this is just some press release that went around somewhere, but there isn't that much new being reviewed over here except one very key crucial piece of information that is super exciting. So here's what it says. All of the game's levels have been updated to include new secrets and collectibles to find, including 150 new concept art pieces to unlock. That is super exciting. That kind of confirms my suspicions from earlier on, is that we've had a couple bullet points that I've talked about so far where it seemed like there was new unlockables and secrets being built into the game, and now this just confirms that that is essentially a fact, and there is a lot to go through in this remake actually. And so for people that are used to this game, have played it many times in the past, this game is still going to feel brand new to them beyond the visuals, because now there's new content to unlock over here, and that's just exciting, and I'm a little jealous, to be honest. I really think Rehydrated could have used this sort of treatment, but I don't know, maybe in the future, who knows. The game also runs at 4K resolution and at 60 FPS on most platforms, I'm assuming, because I'm pretty sure the Switch is not going to be one of those. And at number 15, beyond this trailer, THQ Nordic also put out some new screenshots on their media site, and some of these screenshots include locations such as Ventureland and Skull Island, and I gotta say, this looks really solid as well. And it continues on with what I said before about Mean Street, is the fact that these locations seem more vibrant, but they also seem darker and scarier, which is very interesting. Like I said, Purple Lamp is doing a really good job of capturing the original feel of the game a lot better than Rehydrated in my opinion, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I see like original fans being really excited about this in particular, because the general direction you would have thought that most companies would take when remaking games like this is just making them brighter, more colorful, especially because it's a Disney franchise. But Purple Lamp seems to really understand that this is Epic Mickey. This is not a typical Disney franchise, and we're seeing it in the results here. So it looks fantastic. I'm really excited to see more of this. Now, before we end off this video, I did get some more comments I wanted to go through that didn't really fit into any bullet points, but I thought were really interesting to go through nonetheless. And so this comes from Street Pass Love on Twitter. Not only are we getting new movement skills, but painting has been sped up and bosses are receiving new attacks like the Clock Tower Slam. Do you think changing games to play faster is a good idea for remakes of older titles? Depends on the game, honestly. And so I think with like Rehydrate, for instance, I think that game should have been faster because that would have made the game like flow a lot better. And I think Epic Mickey is a game that could benefit from like a faster gameplay as well. But it really depends on the game. If you're remaking Sonic Adventure, for instance, then maybe not, because that game is already pretty fast, at least with Sonic at least. Maybe you could make Big faster, you know? But it really does depend on the game itself. But ultimately, what you want as the ultimate goal is to make sure that the game plays and feels better than the original, which is not as easy as it sounds. So take that as you will. Lucas here wanted to say, I can't wait for my childhood game to release for the Switch. It's a gamer's come true. Absolutely. I mean, I can totally empathize with that. When Rehydrate came out, I went absolutely crazy. When A Thousand Year Door came out earlier this year, that was super exciting for me as well. I'm really happy to see Epic Mickey Rebrushed come back in this way, and I'm hoping that the OG fans really appreciate it. Now, Armani wanted to say, Riders Rebrushed when, and I just want to say this, that interesting brand idea, guys. Say, I don't know how I'm going to use it just yet, but imagine like Riders Rehydrated, Riders Reignited, Riders Rebrushed. Like, you can do so much with this actually. So you got me thinking. I don't know. Well, that's a thought I have to file for now. You know, put a pin on it with a sticky note. But all right, y'all, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I definitely missed stuff from this analysis, so let me know if there's anything that I missed that really should have been in this video. I would love to hear about it and discuss it with you all in the comment section. Also, like I said, we're gonna get way more Epic Mickey content in the future. D-Day is happening on August 9th, and people will get their hands on the game on that day. Gamescom is also coming up, and who knows what else THQ Nordic has up their sleeves. So really excited. We'll see how everything goes, and just yeah, subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with more Epic Mickey Rebrushed news. But all right, yeah, this is Riders, riding out.